boom, and boom.
I get closer to you. Good morning.
Good morning. She's being violent again.
No. My goodness.
Just kidding. We was playing this. Hey, make sure you're playing in life, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Life is too short to not play.
Yes.
And actually, there you can throw a book in here. I know
Yes. Well, Life Well Played.
The Well Played Life.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
there you go.
By Leonard Sweet.
Sorry, Mr. Sweet. I will get the title
Yeah.
right. But it has
Great.
been a blessing to
Great,
us.
great book. So, well, good morning, everybody. We're just a touch early today just because my business stuff is growing. Mm-hmm. So, it's awesome.
Mr. Man has
to get to a networking meeting.
And actually do 15 minutes.
Okay.
I have asked for 15-minute shows from the very beginning.
Well, hey, you know, here's the thing, right? Remember that by perseverance, the snail reached the ark. Mm-hmm. So, I am the snail, and I'm just chugging. I'm going.
I'm the road runner.
You are. I'm undulating. I'm moving. We used to tell the kids, I'm undulating. I'm moving. Undulating towards the promised land.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's the thing.
Yes?
If you don't quit, you'll always win.
You will. You will always quit. No, I'm sorry. I was
Wait a minute. No, we won't always quit. No, we will always win.
I cancel that.
It's awesome. Live programming. Anyway.
Always win.
So, as we're here going to keep talking about this subject, let us know if you've found this week's topic helpful.
Yes.
In any way, again, about living from quadrant 2, as Mr. Stephen Covey said. Yes.
And you literally just said, if you don't quit, we'll make the promised land.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
Well, guess what we're really talking about here? Is when we live in quadrant 2, that is our promised land.
That's very
Those
good.
things right there are the ones that actually bring the most life to us, right? And so...
Well, very good.
Look at you.
Okay, so anyway, as we're there, so then what does this look like? Because again, we all talk about that. Because again, all of us, every one of us, right, have to fight against the tendency of our culture. Our culture, whether it's acknowledged or not, our culture wants us to live in quadrant 1.
Urgent.
Important.
Hurry.
Put out the fire. Here we go. Let's go. And so maybe again, another thing for you to throw out there is remember the Just Breathe song?
Oh, yes.
That's a great little song.
I
So maybe
love
throw that one.
Song.
But that song I think really does paint a picture of the current of culture is really wanting us to live hurried, harried, rushed. Gotta go. You're late. The little bunny from Alice in Wonderland. You're late. That kind of life. And we have to consciously choose to live from quadrant 2. Right? So this week, for the time we have, we're going to talk about that because where does this begin? Because we talk about that and we all can say, well, Brad, that sounds amazing. That sounds awesome. I wish I could. Blah, 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 blah,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? But you just don't know my schedule. You just don't know what I got to do. You just don't know what I got to get accomplished. You just don't know. But we have to choose. So what I'm going to do is for today's analogy, I'm just going to tell the story even of yesterday.
Okay.
Right? Because it's no.
What I did yesterday.
No, not what you did yesterday. What Savannah. So as you go on Facebook, you see Savannah and I got to go fishing yesterday. And so again, things like fishing, in our current culture with the wonderfulness of Aldi and Walmart and Sam's Clubs and Costco, and even now you can get most of that delivered right to your door.
Right.
So now
why would you bother going fishing, right?
Yeah.
Like
so
you
now,
can order whatever fish you want.
So things like fishing, hunting, if you will, even gardening, things like this. Now, well, again, 100 and something years ago, those probably were all quadrant 1 activities.
If you don't do it, you will die.
So for a long time, those things and activities lived in a different quadrant. Well, now, again, and I'm using them just as an example that there are aspects of your life. You may not enjoy fishing. You may not enjoy those things I just said. but there's things in your life that you enjoy, that bring you life, that bring you rest, that bring you peace.
All kinds of sewing or crocheting or cross stitch or making beautiful pictures or photography. Or yes, you can go to Walmart and buy something to stick on your wall.
Yeah, or you can make something.
But you can create something, right? Okay.
Well, that what I'm saying is,
just go into a whole other genre.
And now, and all of those things, we call them hobbies, which is fine. Hobbies truly do fall in quadrant 2 in many degrees, because nobody's life is going to end
right
if you don't do your hobby, right?
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? But hobbies bring us life, and I use them just as an example because, again, the more important things that we've already listed, and again, we ask you to throw in the list of what are some of the things you see from your world that would fall into quadrant 2. They're important, but they're not urgent. Right. And we said, family, relationships, again, time with God. We went through a whole litany of things. Healthy lifestyle, exercise, those kind of things that really bring us a richness of life dwell in quadrant 2.
Yes.
So how you access quadrant 2 is with the power of choosing. You choose, and so I'm going to use a little analogy. So I looked, Savannah's one of my kids that loves fishing as much as I do. I got a couple of them. And some of the other ones, they don't like it as much as I do, and that's fine. They like their other things. But Savannah, we hadn't gone in a while, and so I was thinking about going fishing, and I looked at the map or the forecast, not the map. I looked at the fishing forecast, and it said that yesterday was supposed to be the peak day of the week, right? According to the moon in the right phase and the sun at the right angle,
the weather and
all the stuff. And they said, man, tomorrow, or yesterday, yesterday is going to be a great day to go fishing. And I said, well, okay, great. I can come home from work. Let's go fishing. Well, we invited a friend to go. Well, Savannah did, and Savannah invited a friend to go. And all this kind of stuff, we're all excited. She's excited. We're ready to go. Well, we get a kind of a last-minute text from the friend that said, busy week. I'm going to back out. I can't do it. I can't, which is, again, is fine, because I don't know if the friend is watching. I don't want to pick on anybody. But, which is good. Sometimes you have to make those decisions. I'm not going to do it. But it caused me to think, as I do many times, now, wait a minute. We really were only, by the time I got home from work and fought through traffic and got home and we loaded up the truck and we got out to the place and we did the stuff, we might have been gone a couple hours. Yeah. From leaving the house to getting home. Yeah. We might have been gone 2 hours. And it makes me think when people make those decisions of, it's just too busy. I kept thinking, it's just 2 hours.
Right.
And I think so many times in my own life, how many times have I done that?
Because of our perception about that activity. Yes. Because of our perception of how much that is going to cost
or require,
in a sense, right? How much energy or how much mental capacity or whatever. Whereas you've got someone over here who's like, it's the most life-giving thing ever. It's relaxing and you get outdoors and you get to exercise a little bit and hike and it's so relaxing that it's refreshing and all the things. So
this is a part of the story I didn't tell you, but I mean in that when and here's the thing, because they're trying to build it. So when the friend canceled, it actually, I was like, well, why don't we just stay home too then? Right? Why don't we, because, we were going to go and maybe we wouldn't want to. And I stopped and I said, no, I'm sure Savannah's looking forward. And I asked her, hey, you still looking forward to going? I know your buddy's not going. Oh, yeah, I really want to. But that whole time I'm fishing, as well as I'm enjoying the fishing, I'm thinking about this because I'm thinking about our conversation this week. And I'm thinking about, my goodness, how many times do we talk ourselves out of living from quadrant 2 because of just, it's just too busy. Yeah. Or it's there's not enough time. Because again, I could have stood back and go, well, we're only going to be out there a couple hours. Is it worth the effort to get out there for? Because really, to be honest, it's not that far away. It might be a 15, 20-minute drive to where we went fishing. Yeah. And so when you realize that shaved off, let's say, a half hour So by the time we're actually out there, we only got a little over an hour to actually fish by the time you go and come back. And you can talk, well, no, we shouldn't do that. That's not worth it. We'll go another time when we have more time. And guys, listen to me.
Yeah.
We never do.
We never do.
We never
If you've
do.
lived as long as we have, you
never
realize
do.
Man, all those missed opportunities that I should have just jumped on that.
Well, it makes me, again, here you can post another deep theological country song.
Oh, boy.
On the thing called Live Like You Were Dying. And I forgot who sang the song.
Get a hanky box.
But it's the song about, the singer singing about his dad. And so his dad finds out that he's got like cancer or something.
Okay.
And it inspires this whole thing of, oh my goodness, what do you do when they tell you you're dying? Mm-hmm. Right? And how do you live?
Yeah.
How do you begin to live like you were dying?
Right.
And he says, well, what did you do? Well, that year I went and rode a bull at a rodeo, and I went skydiving, and I did all these things that I had been denying.
Yeah.
Because before someone looked at me and said, you're going to die.
You thought you had...
I thought I had more time on one side, but also I didn't choose the things that would never be urgent.
Exactly.
I didn't choose the things, and guys, listen to me, and I'm getting more and more convinced of this as we talk about it from different angles, that one of the, not the key, but one of the main keys of life is to realize the power of choice. Because again, coming back to our little story and to kind of land the plane from there is that, so the friend made a choice to do something different. Right? We could have easily made the same choice, but we just made a choice to go anyway, to do it anyway.
Wasn't this one of the biggest fish Savannah's ever caught?
Well, I caught it.
Oh.
Just if y'all see pictures I share, like,
Yeah.
I want my kids to be involved. So, I caught the fish.
Yeah.
But we caught the fish is the
you
way I
let her
look
reel
at
it
it.
in, or-
No. I reeled it. I hooked it, but she had to help me land it because here's the story on the fish story, right? So it's dark. Like it was the last fish.
cast.
It was the last cast.
No, you know what this means.
It was the last fish. So we're there and I'm fishing. It's getting darker by the second. She just
One more
caught a fish, and she's coming back and she's putting her last fish in the cooler. And which, by the way, can you put some ice on the fish?
Sure.
And so we're fishing along, and I think, okay, I'm gonna throw right over by that bush one last time, and I throw over there. And you see this telltale swirl where it slurps it up. And when I set the hook, the rod doubled.
Oh my goodness.
And I popped it. And if you fish, you know what you mean. When you hook it, and the moment you hook, you know what you got.
Oh my goodness.
And so I poke it, and I'm like, oh my. And I started, because I'm fishing with ultralight tackle.
Okay.
So I got like 2-pound test line.
For little rim.
I'm fishing for small stuff, and I'll hook this big one. And I go, Savannah, I'm going to need your help. So she was there.
Fun.
We're fighting it and trying not to break the line, and it's there. And so she helped me catch it because she landed it. She grabbed it and brought it up on the back. So we caught it together.
Yes.
But it was the last fish on the last cast and the last moments of light.
Yeah.
And
epic.
It was
epic.
And listen, and the things in life that are epic come from quadrant 2.
Yes, absolutely.
They come from the things that are important.
Yeah.
That will never be urgent. You can always talk yourself out of them. You can always convince yourself you'll go tomorrow. You'll do it another day. You'll do it next year. We'll try it later. We'll go for that thing when we got more money, got more this, got more that, got more the other. And listen, guys, it's the power of just saying, today, I'm going to choose one of the important things.
Yes.
I'm going to choose something today from quadrant 2. I'm going to do that little exercise today.
Right.
I'm going to choose that salad today over the hamburger. I'm going to, for real, it's going to be, it's really that sowing the seed of choice.
Yeah.
Right. because again, we can, and it's not wrong that the friend stayed home.
Exactly.
And awesome, but it got me thinking, but they probably just like didn't go to bed. It's not like they stayed home and went straight to sleep. They probably did
Something.
just as much as we did.
Yeah.
They just did it from home.
Yeah.
And many times that's what it is, because I'm so people sit there and say to us many times, well, man, y'all guys do so much, right? Y'all do so much. How do y'all get it all done? Because I finally realized there is no such thing as free time.
Right.
There is no such thing as empty time on the calendar.
Yeah.
That does not exist, because even if I chose to sit down and watch that episode of Andy Griffith for the 500th time, I just chose.
You just chose to do something. And fill your time with something.
Even if it's nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So
even if you're just sitting there.
Every moment we have chosen. And that's I know that's every minute of every day.
Yeah.
You chose what's in that minute.
Yes.
Whatever it was.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, be happy and contented with your choice. I hope our friend is. And I'm not, again, if they're watching, I'm not trying to just use it as an example. I hope they're happy and contented with their choice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you have to realize you could have just as easily chose to go fishing.
Yeah.
You just as easily could have chose to take the walk. You just as easily could have chose to make that phone call and talk to that person, or to go have coffee, or to go to church, or to read your Bible, or to read one of the other books we talked about the other day. You could have just as easily chose one thing as you chose what it is you chose.
Yes.
Because the devil wants to convince us I didn't have a choice.
And that is a huge lie.
Right. I didn't. I had to eat the hamburger.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. I had to. So anyway, so we love you guys.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Check out thehollimans.com. Again, please write in the things that you see are quadrant 2 things, things that are important but may never be urgent. I'd love to compile a good list to make a PDF. To share out with our family out here. Yeah. Again, there's a give button on the webpage. I'd ask you to prayerfully consider, supporting our ministry and what we're doing to sow into people's lives and to bless people. So we love you so much, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.